you, how you perceive you, is the unit with which you measure whole universe. Introducing your higher existence in parallel universe, asserting your higher existence in parallel universe, reassuring about your higher existence in parallel universe, initiating you and giving you the experience about your higher existence, making you face yourself in the parallel universe is my responsibility. Success is not just the zeros you see in your bank balance. It is your conscious sovereignty. It is you feeling so good about you. You celebrating your own existence. If I look, what is the essence of my life? My personal attachment to my Guru, that's all. All the best things in my life I received only from that. Without even knowing what is integrity, I enjoyed integrity with him. Without even knowing what is responsibility, I enjoyed responsibility for him. Without even knowing what is enriching, I was enriching about him to the world. Without even knowing what is Brahman, I had Brahman Jnana from him. Before even knowing the word Brahman, he gave me Brahman Jnana.
Nithyanandam Paramasukadam Kevalam Jnanamurtim Dvandvatītam Gagana Sadrisham Tattvamasya Dilaksham Ekam Nityam Bimalamachalam Sarvadhi Sakshi Bhutam Bhavatītam Triguna-rahitam Sadgurum Tam Namami. Nityanam everyone, we welcome all of you to the introduction of Paramashivoham Level 3 program. So before we enter into the segment, KAILASA National Security Agency would like to have some mandatory security measures. Please be aware of all the security measures. Also, please be aware of all the important cautions. With this, we welcome all the Kailasvasis attending from different Kailasa monasteries, gurukuls, temples, adinams, and centers from around the world. We welcome all the NTV, KAILASA TV, Hinduism Now TV, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube viewers, and all those blessed to have Jnana Diksha to a video conferencing who are joining us for today's program. We'll start with a brief introduction of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Jagat Guru Mahasannidhanam, His Divine Holiness Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam, is the reviver of KAILASA, a macrocosmic, ancient, enlightened Hindu civilization nation, Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is the 1008th incarnation of Paramashiva as per Hinduism, recognized by his predecessors, who are the enlightened masters and adepts. Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has made the science of power manifestation, yoga and temple-based university a lifestyle for humanity. So now we'll look into some of the coronation ceremonies of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. Before the year of 1981, he was identified as the 1008th incarnation of Paramashiva by the spiritual adepts and the enlightened masters of Hinduism. In the year 81, he was initiated into the Bala Sannyas and Chaturmasya at the age of 3. In the 88, he was coronated as the future Guru Mahasannidhanam of Dandi Mandaladinam, the oldest monastic university of Hinduism. In the year 94, he was appointed as the successor of Arunachala Saranapitham by the Guru Parampara. In the year 99, he founded the mission Nithyananda Sangha to revive Kailasas internationally. And in the year 99, he was coronated as the successor of Kashi Saranapitham. In the year 2002, he founded Adi Kailasa Saranapitham. And in the year 2004, he was declared as the successor of Bhagyanagara Sripura Saranapitham. In the year 2004, he was declared the incumbent emperor of Suryavamsa Surangi Samrajyam of Suryavamsa lineage. In the year 2007, he was declared as the Guru Mahasannidhanam of Adi Pallava Sarvanyapitham. In the year 7, he was also declared as the Mahamandaleswara of Mahanirvani Akhara. In the year 2012, he was coronated as the 293rd Guru Mahasannidhanam of Madurai Shyamala Pitha Sarvanyapitham, which is the oldest Hindu papal state and the monastic kingdom. In the year 13, he was officially coronated as the Mahamandaleswara of Mahanirvani Akhara, which is the largest apex monastic order of Hinduism, and at that time Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism was the youngest Mahamandaleswara. In the same year, he was also declared as the Acharya Mahamandaleswara of Atal Akhara, which is the oldest monastic order in Hinduism, and he was declared as the Acharya Mahamandaleswara by the Acharya Mahamandaleswara Sukhdevanandaji, who was the incumbent spiritual head. In the year 14, he was coronated as the Guru Mahasannidhanam of Tanjauradinam. In the same year, he was also coronated as the Guru Mahasannidhanam of Tiruvaruradinam, Vedaranimadinam, and the Guru Mahasannidhanam of Panchanadikulam. In the coming years, the year of 2015, he was coronated as the Guru Mahasannidhanam of Dharmamukti Swargapuramadinam and the Guru Mahasannidhanam of Adipith Kuladamat. In the same year, he was also elected as the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism by a congregation of 1,000 spiritual leaders. So now let us look into some of the global initiatives taken by Supreme Pontiff of India. So 28 years of relentless humanitarian services and initiatives, including free vegetarian food, medical services, natural disaster relief, women empowerment initiatives, conflict resolutions, peace initiatives, sustainable Hindu practices of the various international agencies and the bodies. Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has authored more than 300 books, 10,000 articles in 3 languages, English, Tamil, and Sanskrit, that has been translated into 50 languages with over 1,000 titles. So over 20 million copies of books and articles has been sold, read, and downloaded. He has established the largest Hindu library with over 1 million books, 1 million Paramashiva scriptures, and over 20 million digital books. Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is revered as the most prolific, most viewed guru in the digital world, read and watched by 1 billion plus followers in Hinduism. Over 10,000 hours of discourses, over 1 million views on the social media. Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is also respected as the commentator of all the sacred scriptures such as Upanishads, Bhagavad Gita, Shiva Sutras, Yoga Sutras, Ashtavakra Gita, Jaina Sutras, and other scriptures of Hinduism. He is honored as the leader of Hinduism, the most awarded, internationally recognized Hindu leader. He is also acclaimed as one of the top 100 spiritually influencing living personality by Watkins, Mind, Body, and Spirit magazine. The Sovereign Order of KAILASA, led by Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam, and the Nithyananda Order of monks, nuns, and Hindu diaspora are working for global peace and to give superconscious breakthrough to humanity. He is also the establisher of largest Hindu university in the world with the satellite campuses in 150 countries. He is the establisher of 1,000 plus Kailasa Enlightenment ecosystem. He is the founder and reviver of over 100 Sarvanyapithams. So now moving to the next segment, we'll look into the science of power manifestation. The science of power manifestations are directly rooted into the source scriptures of Hinduism. In the Vedagma, which is the source scriptures of Hinduism, Paramashiva reveals in elaborate detail that every human being is hardwired to manifest more than 463 powers through the third eye. So manifesting powers are described as the system, method, and the science for human beings to explore the various possibilities, powers, and have access to the various states of consciousness. Paramashiva, who is the source of all this Shakti, is the primordial divinity in Hinduism, who is the ultimate reality and cause, which is the self-effulgent, Swayam Prakasa, all-pervading, unchanging beyond time, space, form, and causality. At the fundamental base of Avyakta, the unmanifest, and the Vyakta, the manifest existence, he performs the Panchakritya, or the 5 cosmic acts of Srishti, which is creation, Sthiti, which is sovereign rulership and maintenance, Samhara, which is rejuvenation, Turobhava, pulling out of delusion, and Anugraha, which is liberating grace for all the living entities. So how do we manifest these Shaktis? So every ultimate truth, when mapped into our consciousness, it manifests as the possibility and power of every being. The initiated disciples of Supreme Pontiff. So now first let us look into the power of body scanning. So in this power of body scanning, one awakens to the ability to scan illnesses, disease, medically diagnosed issues, and provide solutions through the awakened third eye. The Shastra Pramana, or the scriptural references for this power of body scanning, is from the Vijnana Bhairava Tantra, where Bhagavan Paramashiva says, cognize deeply that from subtle to subtlest constitute the principle of your whole body, or of the whole universe, simultaneously consist of the essential reality. They are being absorbed in their source cause. By the experience of such restful awareness, one becomes complete from all the thoughts, and the ultimate universal divine power, Paradevi, is revealed, and the supreme power manifestation happens. The Apta Pramana, or the experiences of the Vedic rishis. So Terayar, who was a great Siddha and one of the prominent disciples of Agatya, one day a man suffering from the severe headache comes to Agatya for healing. Agatya uses the power of body scanning and identifies the root cause of the headache. He reveals that there is a small Terai sitting in the person's brain. Agatya immediately instructs Terayar, his disciple, to perform an open head surgery and remove the frog. After the surgery is completed successfully, the person is healed and cured of the headache, thus he gained the name Teraya. The Atma Pramana, and this is from the life of Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism shares, he revealed about this body scanning on the 22nd December 2019. He says only when he had the multiple compound hand fracture, he was forced to go for surgery and therefore for medical checkups related to that. At that time, they detected heavy metal quantity in the different organs. It was revealed that he was poisoned without his knowledge. He immediately used the diagnostic methods instead of medical facility to study the body conditions due to the poison. Through the body scanning, he found out what the problem imbalances had happened and where the balance had to be done. He used allopathy as a second opinion to verify my finding. So, this power, the power of body scanning, and the various other powers, as mentioned by Paramashiva in the Vedagma, you can receive the initiations into all these powers by attending the program Paramashivoham level 3. So, the living incarnation of Paramashiva, Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, embody the most profound yogic states that surpass all the bounds of time, space, and matter. The SPH is gifting this pure great science of third eye awakening along with the many other spiritual sciences through initiations. And the millions of people have been initiated by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism and are experiencing the profound result as the extraordinary powers in their everyday life. So we all can receive these initiations by attending the Paramashivoham level 3 program. So with this, now we're moving to the next segment after a short break. Request all of you to please stay tuned.
If I look, what is the essence of my life? My personal attachment to my Guru, that's all. All the best things in my life I received only from that. Without even knowing what is integrity, I enjoyed integrity with him. Without even knowing what is responsibility, I enjoyed responsibility for him. Without even knowing what is enriching, I was enriching about him to the world. Without even knowing what is Brahman, I had Brahman Jnana from him. Before even knowing the word Brahman, he gave me Brahman Jnana. You are my disciple. With all my love, I tell you guys. The best thing I received from my Guru, I am giving you guys as a prasada. This too is the best thing I received from my Guru. One, my Guru is real. Second, I committed to him. I will live like that. Over. That's all. And I tell you, you will always be successful. I am real. My words are real. It's my blessing to all of you. Ferocious blessing. My disciples always win, succeed. The unit of your life is your identification about you. How you perceive you is the unit with which you measure whole universe. Introducing your higher existence in parallel universe, asserting your higher existence in parallel universe, reassuring about your higher existence in parallel universe, initiating you and giving you the experience about your higher existence, making you face yourself in the parallel universe is my responsibility.
Nithyananda everyone, welcome back to the segment. So now we'll look into the KAILASA Isanya project. Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism shares this project with all of us to raise 1 million people's consciousness and bring out of at least 1 crore people out of the poverty. So humanity and the modern society have already reached a state of technology and the infrastructure to provide food, clothing, and medical care for all 8 billion people living on the planet Earth. So unfortunately, our decision makers have not reached the necessary conscious level to make the humanitarian decisions of providing the basic needs for all the 8 billion people. The survival need for all the 8 billion people doesn't depend on the availability of housing and the food, but rather on the conscious level of the decision makers. So it is only the consciousness that we lack, nothing else. So let us look into the various resource wastage that happen all around the world. If managed properly, we can bring out all the peoples out of the poverty. So looking at the food wastage, so one side we dump tons of food to the waste in the oceans and the landfill in order to maintain the steady prices. And on the other side, millions of people die out of hunger. Medical equipment wastage. So one side we dump the functioning medical equipments for the new model, and the other side the millions die without having access to the basic medical equipments. Similar way for the cloth wasting, one side we dump millions of tons of the barely worn clothes into the ocean, while other side the millions of people are struggling for the basic clothing. Same way for the home and the shelter wastage. So one side the millions faces the foreclosure and empty locked homes, and the other side the homelessness are in the millions. So now we look into the more detailed data to support these facts. So looking into the food wastages, so almost 1/3 of the food that is produced goes in as the waste, and whereas almost 35 million people are having the food poverty, means they do not have access to the food. So almost 1/3 of the food produced in the world for the human consumptions every year, approximately, which is 1.3 billion tons, get lost or wasted. So food losses and waste amount to the roughly $680 billion in the industrialized country and almost $310 billion in the developing countries. Almost 155 million people in the 55 countries of the region faced food crisis in 2021. Adding the number has now increased to 265 million due to the COVID-19 epidemic. Even if just 1/4 of the food currently lost or wasted globally could be saved, it would be enough to feed 870 million hungry people in the world. So almost 35 million people are dying from the hunger worldwide, and a child dies from the hunger every 10 seconds. Poor diets are linked to 20% of all the deaths worldwide. Now we look into the medical equipment wastage. So almost 5.25 billion medical equipments are discarded, whereas we have almost 100 million people who do not have access to the medical equipments. So US medical waste will attain around $5.25 billion by 2027. So among regulated and unregulated clinical waste, around 80 to 85% can be reused. And unused supplies in the medical facilities are often discarded unnecessarily, rather than stored for the later use, adding even more unnecessary garbage being carted away to the landfills. So reprocessing industry saving 15 million pounds of medical waste from the landfills and reducing cost to the hospitals and surgical centers by over $544 million. So the world's poorest countries are paying some of the highest drug prices, with every medicine costing up to 30 times more than in the rich nations. Half the world lacks access to the essential health services. Almost 100 million people is still pushed into the extreme poverty because of the health expenses. So now we'll look into the various facts related to the cloth wastages. So almost 59,000 tons of the waste a cloth goes into the waste, and almost 1/8 of the populations are living in the cloth poverty. So around 100 billion garments are produced every year, with 33% going to the landfill. Every year, 59,000 tons of the used and unsold clothing end up in the Chile from all over the world. Every 10 minutes, an estimated 6,000 kilos of the clothing and the textiles are dumped in the landfill. 1 in the 8 children without the basic clothes. 1 billion children worldwide are multidimensionally poor without access to the basic accessories. Almost 22,000 children die each day due to the inhygiene around the world. So looking into the vacant home and the shelter, almost 45 million houses are vacant, and almost 27% of the populations are living without the homes. The world has millions of vacant homes. 42 million of its 426 million homes are vacant. Roughly 1 in the 10 homes in the advanced economies are empty. So among all of that, Japan has topped a list of the nations with the highest percentage of vacant homes, with 13.6% of its dwelling not lived, and almost 1.3 million are in the Canada. 27% increase in homelessness is likely due to the economic impacts of the COVID-19. So more than 1/3 of all the people are facing homelessness services are women and the children. So for the last 5 years, core homelessness has been rising year on year worldwide. Homeless people are over 9 times more likely to take their own life than the general population. So 78% of homeless people report having a physical health conditions, 44% of them having the mental health diagnosis, and 41% use drugs and alcohol to cope up with the mental health issues. So with all this, KAILASA aim to raise the consciousness level in the world and bring the real issues facing the world, and through a specialized process of recycling, facilitating the movement of good quality, unwanted items from the haves to the have-nots. This Chaturmasya, which is the 4 month from the July to October alone, 1 crore people should be practicing samadhi to raise their consciousness, and 1 crore people should be pulled out of the poverty. And with this aim, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has launched this project, KAILASA Ishanya. So this KAILASA Ishanya has threefold benefits. For the donors, it is a great boon to provide those who are in the need. And for the world, recycling removes a lot of hazardous material from the nature, adding to the cleaner environment. For those in the need, millions of people around the world will be alive and raised out of poverty, hunger, and inadequate health practices due to the lack of medical facilities. It's a win-win situation for everyone who is involved in this project. So over the last 27 years, Sri KAILASA has built a network of legal entities in 140 countries around the world, holding charity status in 118 of these countries. In many countries, Sri KAILASA entities are registered distributors, as well as, meaning we can manage the entire process end to end. So we'll make full use of this network to collect clothing, medical equipments, food material from the developed nations, transport them, distribute it to the countries and region in the need, with all the transportations and distribution expenses sponsored by the Sri KAILASA. So to explore more about our processes, we request all of you to visit our official website, gov.srikailasa.org/ishanya or kailasa.org/ishanya. So here you can get the more informations about becoming the partner on this project, or making a request or making a donations for this project. You can get more detail on this website. So with this, we'll now move to the next part of this segment after a short break. We request all of you to stay tuned.
If I look, what is the essence of my life? My personal attachment to my Guru, that's all. All the best things in my life I received only from that. Without even knowing what is integrity, I enjoyed integrity with him. Without even knowing what is responsibility, I enjoyed responsibility for him. Without even knowing what is enriching, I was enriching about him to the world. Without even knowing what is Brahman, I had Brahman Jnana from him. Before even knowing the word Brahman, he gave me Brahman Jnana. You are my disciple. With all my love, I tell you guys, the best thing I received from my Guru, I am giving you guys as a prasada. This too is the best thing I received from my Guru. One, my Guru is real. Second, I committed to him. I will live like that. Over. That's all. And I tell you, you will always be successful. I am real. My words are real. It's my blessing to all of you. Ferocious blessing. My disciples always win, succeed.
Hello everyone, welcome back to the segment. So now we'll look into some more details about the various statistics with respect to the poverty. So around 9.2% of the world population, or 689 million people, live in the extreme poverty, which is less than $1.9 a day of income. So here through the pictures, we present you the density or of the people living in extreme poverty as the country. So you can see the most of the regions in the South Africa are living in extreme poverty, which is more than 60% of the total poverty around the world. So by the 2030, almost 430 million people will be living in the extreme poverty, which is 30 million more than the expected projection from the last year. And this has been contributed because of the COVID-19 pandemic and the war which is going on. So almost 1.3 billion people are living in the multidimensional poverty. Out of that, 50% are the children, which is almost 663 million. And out of all that, the 32% are under the 10-year-old, are under 10-year-old, which is again 428 millions. So COVID-19 has doubled the poverty rate in the many parts of the world. And it is expected that the COVID-19 can push 500 million people into the poverty, with expected numbers to be most from the East Asia and the Pacific region, which is around 239.8 million. And then the second, South Asia, then Latin America and the Caribbean nations. So almost 42% jump has been seen in 2020, which is almost 20% more than expected or than in the 2018. Also, average per capita household expenditure of the extreme poor has decreased by more than 45%. So almost 689 million people are living in the extreme poverty, and children and youth account for the 2/3 of the world's poor, and the women represent a majority in the most of the regions. Extreme poverty is increasingly concentrated in the sub-Saharan Africa. About 40% of the region's people live in the less than $1.9 a day or below the poverty line. So extreme poverty rates nearly doubled in the Middle East and the North Africa between 2015 and 2018, which is from 3.8% to 7.2%, mostly because of the crisis in the Syria and the Yemen. So all those countries impacted by fragility, crisis, and the violence are home to about 10% of the world's populations. They account for more than 40% of the people living in the extreme poverty. By 2030, an estimated 67% of the world's poor will live in the fragile contexts. About 70% of the people older than 15 who live in the extreme poverty have no schooling or only some basic educations. 1.3 billion people in 107 developing countries, which account for 22% of the world populations, live in the multidimensional poverty. About 84.3% of multidimensionally poor live in the sub-Saharan Africa and the South Asia. 644 million children are experiencing multidimensional poverty. So COVID-19 pandemic has threatened to reverse the years of progress in the fight against the global poverty and the income inequalities. And it has jeopardized the future of future generations of the children. COVID-19 has driven an additional of 97 million people into the extreme poverty in 2020. And this is according to the World Bank estimates. It says that more than a year into the pandemic, the World Bank stresses that there is still much we do not know concerning its impact on the global poverty in the year 2022. So the impact of COVID-19, rising global inequality, and the soaring food prices are said to send more than a quarter billion more people into the poverty this year. And this is according to a charity group called Oxfam International. So the combined hit may result into a total of 860 million people living below the poverty line by the end of 2022, or 263 millions more than the projections before the pandemic. That is equivalent to the entire population of the UK, France, Germany, and Spain combined. So the monthly child poverty rate has increased from 12.1% in December 2021 to 17% in the January 22. This is the highest rate seen since the end of 2020. The 4.9% increase in the poverty represents 3.7 million more children in the poverty. Looking at the working poverty, and it affects as many as 169 million youths in the world. The number has increased to 286 million if the near poor are included. About 152 million young workers live in the households that are below the poverty line, and they comprise 24% of all the working poor. Globally, the large number of young people are out of schools and engaged in the child labor. About 1/10 of the child population, which is 168 million children aged between 5 and 17 years, has been involved in the child labor. In the developing countries, an estimated 2/3 of the youth are not fulfilling their economic potentials. So the poverty is widely believed to cause violence. The relationship between the two can be understood by the cycle of violence. Almost all the 39 countries that have suffered civil wars since the year 2000 have had one in the previous 3 decades. People in this country are also more than twice as likely to be malnourished, 3 times as likely to miss schools, and twice as likely to die in the infancy. The UN reports that countries that suffer large-scale violence lost almost 1% in the poverty reduction every year. So it is often claimed that the crime rate among the poor children is rising. But the question is this poverty really the mother of all the crimes? The first and foremost, it is quite apparent that many poor people become criminal because they have nothing to lose. So they do not think about the consequences of their offenses. There are many poor people all over the world who have nothing to eat. The only way to get some food is shoplifting. In addition, the crime rate in the poor countries is normally higher. So now we'll look into the poverty solutions given by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. So here through this segment, we are going to be presenting the various concepts about the wealth and building the wealth consciousness. So through the spiritual solutions, Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has been helping the millions of people to get out of the poverty consciousness and build a wealth consciousness and manifest the reality in their life. So let us look into the various powerful cognitions and understandings shared by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism says that life can be equated to 2 things. 1, the ability to achieve what we want in our inner or the outer world. Second, just getting stuck in both the world. And these are the only two equations. So everybody, every one of us want wealth in our life, but we do not increase the lifespan to the level we want to generate wealth in our life. Wealth is nothing but the life energy that we express. It is a straight equation because a normal man has the wealth as the first priority in the life. So if we do not have wealth, we should not blame anyone else. We ourselves are not expressing the life in us. Life energy is not happening in us. We need to understand that the creating wealth is intrinsic part of our life. Very beautifully, Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita that Gahanu Karmanu Gati. The universe, by its very nature, works, and works. So if we have the goal of creating wealth, we will be creative and our energy will be channeled properly. The first priority in the life should be for moksha, enlightenment. Till that happens, the second priority can be creating wealth. Creating wealth makes us non-violent because our whole energy becomes creative. Creating wealth brings tremendous interest in the life and makes us non-violent. So to sum up, let us understand again what is the wealth. Wealth is not just an object or thing that need to be achieved, but it is an extension of us. Anything that add to us is the wealth. It can be the quality of health that we enjoy, the state of our relationships that we enjoy, or the fulfillment we experience in our career, our mental state, our sense of inner fulfillment. All these are the measures of the success with which we have created wealth in our life. So wealth is not just the money or currency, but money is one wealth, currency is one wealth, the assets are one wealth, being alive active is the one wealth. All the four put together is the wealth, which is money, currency, assets, and being active. So wealth is neither good nor bad, but it's a utility. So wealth consciousness means making clear decisions to break out of the myths and the mental patterns that improvise us and draw us again and again into the poverty cycle. Supreme point of Hinduism see that we manifest what we believe. We do not manifest our desire, we manifest the cognitions, like what we cognize or what we perceive as the reality for our life. And this gap between the desire and the belief is what he calls as a mental pattern. So many of us say that I really desire wealth, but deep down we believe something else about the wealth. Like wealthy people are arrogant people, bad people, they do a lot of wrong things. So if we cognize or believe that wealthy people are arrogant, bad, or they do wrong things, they exploit others, if we carry such belief or cognitions, we won't be able to manifest wealth in our life. Deep down, we'll have a lot of guilt about creating wealth. So it's going to be a contradictory belief and the desire in our life. So it's very important for all of us to look into all the belief that we carry about the wealth so that we can manifest the wealth as we want. So let us look some of the common belief that we carry about the wealth to build more understanding about how we carry the mental patterns about the wealth, or how we have a different understanding or cognizance about the wealth and the desire that we have about the wealth. So this will help us to reorganize or recognize all the thoughts related with the wealth. So some of the common beliefs that we carry in our life is that wealthy people are arrogant and they are bad people. We carry a deep resistance of wealth, which leads us being poor or not able to accumulate wealth in our life. Or even if we accumulate the life, we do carry a lot of guilt about the wealth. Here, the supreme point of Hinduism says, the truth is that arrogance do not come by the wealth. Arrogant people will be arrogant whether they have wealth or not. So arrogance, which means behaving as if we are more important than or know more than the other people. But we wrongly associate wealth to the arrogance. We create a pattern and start hating wealth as well, the same way we hate arrogance. The another common belief that we carry is the poverty is good, and deep inside us, we label poverty as a good quality. We feel reverence and respect for the poverty. If we do carry certain cognitions, we won't be able to generate wealth in our life. Another thing that we carry that handling wealth is more responsibility. We do feel uncomfortable and we feel that whatever I want will not get it. Maybe because we do come to this conclusion by looking at some of the wealthy people who do not have time for themselves. So anything that we cognize, it's important for all of us to understand that why the belief or cognitions matter for us. So understand here SPH shares this understanding or the wisdom that anything that we cognize, we create a certain magnetic field about that cognition. We attract situations, people, and everything around us to make that cognition into a reality. All that we need to make this happen is the will persistence. So to manifest the cognition in our life, we just need to take more and more decisions and actions based on that cognitions with the will persistence. Will persistence means our decision that we are not going to give up our intentions till it is manifested. And this is what Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism means by saying that will persistence. So all of us do desire to have wealth, but we do not believe, perceive, or cognize it as our possibility. So this is one sort of mental pattern that we carry. We do desire to have wealth in our life, but deep inside we cognize that it's not a possibility for me. And that is how we create a magnetic field around us, create a situations, people in such a way that it never becomes a possibility for us. So the first and foremost important step that we need to do is creating an energy field of attracting wealth. Means creating a powerful cognition deep inside us to create that reality in our life. So how do we do that? What is the spiritual practice to create a powerful magnetic center around us to attract the wealth? So here Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism gives a powerful technique, and he says we need to clean up all the incompletions pattern that we carry about the wealth, and then as a second part creating a right powerful space or the magnetic energy center in us. We'll look into the more detail about how to clean up all the incompletions or insert the mental patterns or the belief cognitions that we carry about the wealth. And then in the second part, we'll also look into how to create a powerful space for that. So to attract the wealth, situations and people that will support us to create wealth, like the magnetic energy center for manifesting wealth the way we want. So let us look into the details of the first step of digging out all the incompletions. So here, what we are going to be doing is to remember about the money. The moment you remember about the money, it will bring tremendous pain, suffering, or the various impossibility patterns, thoughts in you. So look into what emotions or the energy it invokes in you, what kind of thought pattern it invokes in you. So the moment you think of money, whatever you feel, whatever you think, for example, you may think that money is difficult, money is impossible, or unless you cheat, you cannot get money. So these are some of the thought patterns that may get provoked, or for different people, it may be different emotions associated with that. But for all of us, so much goes inside when we think about the money. So many of incompletions get triggered when we think about the money. So spend few minutes, be sincere, and dig out all the incompletions, belief, and mental patterns that you carry, the perceptions or the cognitions that you have about the money. So this is the first part of looking into the various cognitions about the money or doing the completion with the mental patterns. And understand that each belief or the cognitions that we carry. So once you start digging out, you'll find the various cognitions or the mental patterns that you have. But each of these belief or cognitions has a birth. It starts a certain point of time in your life. So you have to identify those incidents, those time when this wrong or inadequate belief about the wealth started forming in your life. And once we are done with that, we'll be looking into the next process of doing the completion. So in the process of completion, you are going to be reliving yourself from all these incompletions. So while you do so, you have to go back to the same age when that incident happened, which triggered this kind of cognitions and the emotions in your life. And as part of the second step, you are going to be creating the space, the right powerful cognition in you to attract the wealth or the situations, people around you who will help you to manifest wealth in your life. So please dig out all the incompletions or the mental pattern that you carry and will lead you to the next step of creating the powerful space to attract wealth in your life. So now let us move to the next step of this process. And once you dig out all the incompletions related to the wealth, you have to sit into the completion and till we get out of all those emotions and the various thought patterns that get triggered when we remember about the wealth or the money. So once we are done with the completion process, then the next step to create the powerful cognitions or making the powerful cognitions part of your life. So in this process, you are going to be writing clearly what is your intentions, what is it that you want to manifest in the next 3 months in the field of wealth. So whatever you think as the wealth, you may think more than money or currency. Let's say for you, a person or as the wealth for your life. Or for some people, it could be situations as the wealth for their life, or for some people, being active is the wealth for their life. So whatever you consider as the wealth or you want to manifest or attract in the next 3 months, please pen it down. So with this, we come to the end of this segment where we look into the project initiated by the Supreme Point of Hinduism to bring people out of poverty and raise the consciousness level of the humanity. So now we'll moving to the next segment where we listen to the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. We'll have the live satsang where Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism elaborately talks about the KAILASA Ishanya project. So we request all the viewers to bring the listening and let us enter into the live satsang.
ॐ नित्यानन्देश्वर परमशिवसमारम्भाम् नित्यानन्देश्वरि परमशिवशक्तिमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्ताम् वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्. I welcome you all with my love and respect. I welcome everyone with my love and respect. The message from Paramashiva, directly from KAILASA. Samadhi and feeling connection empowers your Divya Sarira. Empowering your Divya Sarira is the ultimate productivity of your happening in planet Earth. Listen. Today I am going to speak fully in English. Meena Joshi, full English Satsang. Because yesterday I spoke a lot in Tamil. So today, full English Satsang. Listen. Listen to what I am saying. Your body, physical body, carries the consciousness. I use new word called Divya Sarira. Consciousness wearing this body is Divya Sarira. That consciousness getting more and more empowered. When the consciousness gets empowered, you don't feel suffocated by physical body and its limitations. Shiv Pandit, I'll heal you. I saw some wound in your right ears. I'll heal you completely. Listen. If you are Divya Sarira, the consciousness which is holding your body, if that is empowered, you don't feel suffocated, limited, reduced by your body. Please listen. Body limiting your possibility makes you feel suffocated. Not only the great powerful cognitions and understandings about the secrets of the cosmos, all spiritual practices are focused with the purpose of empowering your Divya Sarira. Listen. Yesterday's satsang, I gave you one truth. If you rest in samadhi, you will see everything in your life is complementing your different aspects. The wealth you earn or the money you spend, the relationships getting added in your life or people leaving from your life, comforts and wealth, artha getting added or leaving, the higher values, understandings getting added to you and middle class values leaving you, everything, if you see, It just complements your expansion. If you get terrorized by your life, suffocated by your life without understanding, if you feel everything is chaos, everything is falling apart, due to your inner restlessness, you feel whole life is complication and incompletion. I tell you, nothing falls apart, everything falls in place. Nothing in life falls apart, everything in life falls in place. All of you should know, I don't teach the shit called positive thinking. No. First of all, I don't believe in that shit, and I don't teach that. I teach you reality. I teach you the truth. You are intensely brainwashed by suffocating ideas about life by media and the so-called human society. Whenever I sit in samadhi and watch, I see clearly everything is so auspicious. Not only I see it, when I see life as auspicious, my Divya Sarira gets so empowered. It just manifests powers and miracles. Every time when I reveal the higher truths, it empowers your inner space. It empowers your very being. Empowering your Divya Sarira is the job I do day in and day out. See, in Hindu tradition, after 60, once you cross the age of 60, you are expected to take Vanaprastha. That is, what is that? At the age of 60, they do a ritual. You marry the same person second time. Only in Hindu tradition, you marry the same person 4 times. First, during your marriage, then when you are 60, then when you are 70, then when you are 80, then when you are 100. Very rarely people live as a couple together till 100. At the age of 60, you are expected to take Vanaprastha. See, by 60, both of you have become new. That is why one more marriage. Because now you guys are going to live a new kind of a relationship. New kind of a coexistence. After 60, your whole focus is to empower your Divya Sarira. You may be retired, but you will not be tired. When you start empowering your Divya Sarira, you should be retired by 60 and you should not be tired. Actually, many people ask me, what is the reason for the collapse of Hindu civilization? One of the main reason I will give is the people after 60 did not do their responsibility to give back to the society as Vanaprasthis. I am not even asking, give me 1 crore youth, youngsters, 1 crore sannyasis. I am asking, give me 1 crore retired people, Hindus. I just want 1 crore retired Hindus who lived their life all over after 60. If 1 crore Hindus commit after 60 and retirement, whatever society gave them, they will start giving back only by sharing their talent. See, I am not asking after 60 the wealth of the Hindus. No. I am not asking wealth of the Vanaprasthis. No. I am only asking after 60, Vanaprasthi Hindus should share their talent. I don't expect their treasure. I don't even expect their full time. No. If they just share their talent and give consultancy. Oh, listen very carefully. Empowering your Divya Sarira. It's one of the greatest signs available only in Hinduism. At the age of 60, if you start, within 3 years, by 63, you will achieve Anubhuti. Maximum you need 3 years only. And you don't need a whole day. Maybe morning 2.5 hours and evening 2.5 hours. The practice, this science was revived and spread to the world in the name of Siddha Vidya by Shivananda Paramahamsa from Kerala. That science is from the same thing which I am talking. See what I am talking. Empowering your Divya Sarira is the language of Vedas and Agamas. The same science Shivananda Paramahamsa used in local language and gave it as Siddha Vidya. Shivananda Paramahamsa can make anyone achieve Jiva Samadhi within 3 years. He revived the same science but gave the local terms, the local language terms, technical terms. What I am calling empowering Divya Sarira, he calls as Siddha Vidya. See, in Tamil there is a proverb, Aanai unda velangani bol, means if you give there is a fruit, if you give that fruit to elephant, actually I'll describe that fruit will have like a shell. Inside that skin portion, the flesh portion, elephant will not make a hole, but that flesh portion, it will suck it out. Still, no one is able to find the mystery, how it is possible. If you give that fruit Vilambaram, I'll find the English name. Elephant will take in its trunk. In maybe 2 or 3 seconds, it will give the shell to you. If you do any level research on the shell, even with Meena Joshi's eyes, you won't find a hole or you won't find the crack. You will be shocked, surprised, how? Elephant took the whole fruit and ate and gave you the shell. It's called wood apple in English. If you give the wood apple to elephant, it will just take the whole fruit and give you the shell back without any crack or hole. This is exactly Siddha Vidya will do to you. Your whole inner space, Divya Sarira, Atma, will be gone to Paramatma without any damage to your body. That Paramatma will start residing and breathing in you. So even when you leave the body, your body will not show any symptoms of death. See, Siram Jivi. In Sanskrit, we have the word Siranjivi, means eternally, who lives eternally. That word you should understand. Siram Jivi, who lives in the head, who lives in the third eye, who lives in the Sahasrara. Sirattile Jivipavan Siranjivi. This science of empowering your Divya Sarira, actually you don't need more than 3 years. 3 years is the maximum. It's a 2.5 hours practice. Our Agamas give a very detailed manual. And Shivananda Paramahamsa had a enlightenment, revelation, the same science, empowering the Divya Sarira. He shared it to the whole world in the name of Siddha Vidya. He has done an amazing job. I can say very comfortably, he made at least 1 lakh people achieve Jiva Samadhi. Listen. After 60, I am not asking you to give your time, give your treasure. I am only asking, do this empowering your Divya Sarira for 3 years wherever you are. And give your talent like consultancy to Hinduism. What will happen, you will take the next birth consciously from the time you are born. You will be an enlightened being. I just want 1 crore people. See, let me be very clear. I am looking at reviving the enlightened civilization. I am not looking at just some 10,000 people getting enlightened or some 1 lakh people achieving Jiva Samadhi. I am looking at nations living this enlightenment and manifesting powers. Making this as a lifestyle. Third eye will be more common than 2 eyes. Listen. Yesterday I uttered a few Tamil words, if you hear them, the Satsang. How to make a person who is in Samadhi to settle in the body. Those statements are directly from Shivananda Paramahamsa. If we can inspire 1 crore retired Hindus to practice this empowering Divya Sarira just for 3 years. 3 years is the too much time. Human body will become like Anayunda Vilambaram. The shell you are carrying will become empty, and inside there will be only Paramashiva. Your Divya Sarira will be so powerful. You will walk out of your body when you want, and you will sit in Jiva Samadhi as long as you want, and you will take the rebirth as you want. Or you may just sit in Samadhi forever. Whatever you do after that will be so good for the humanity and Hindu civilization. I actually wanted to start this project called Retired but Not Tired and Graceful Exit in Kashi. Soon you will see I will be announcing the project. After 60, anyone can come and stay 3 years, only focused on spiritual practice. And the remaining time you can do seva as a consultancy. No physical work, consultancy seva. You can give counseling, ideas, all that for all our Kailasas, different campuses, guide them. Just consultancy seva through Zoom call. Soon I'll launch this project, Graceful Exit. Retired but not tired. Just 3 years. But I want 1 crore people. I want this to spread all over the world. This time, being in Samadhi, I've clearly brought the system from Kailasa. Very practical. Livable, which will become directly reality. Now let me give you some of the truths and start empowering your Divya Sarira. First thing, consciously understanding the synergy with which your body is functioning. Celebrating your existence. Patrick Pinus, you will be healed. Don't worry. Patrick Pinus, you will be healed. Now listen. Any spiritual practice brings result based on why you are doing it. The reason which convinced you to do that practice brings result. Listen. If you are told, break a coconut for Ganesha, you will pass in exam. And if you go and break the coconut for Ganesha, you will pass an exam. But if you are told the same coconut, break it as a symbol of breaking your ego, incompletions. With that reason and intention, break the coconut. You will have unclutching. And if you go and do with this reason, with this cause, and break the coconut, you will have unclutching. Listen. All spiritual practices bring results based on the reason you have been given, the cause which makes you, inspires you to do that practice. That is why from whom you get initiation is very important. I can make you enlightened just by keeping quiet. Because I already made you strongly believe and initiated you. Even if you keep quiet, you will be unclutched and you will become enlightened. So you will even keep quiet with that intention. If I keep quiet, I will become enlightened because Swamiji told me. I have worked so much on your causal body, the reasons for which you do actions. So even if you keep quiet, even if you are relaxed, not doing anything, you will know I am not doing anything and keeping quiet, sitting, because if I do this, I will become enlightened. Swamiji has already told me. The cause brings the result. Listen. Your Divya Sarira gets empowered by powerful reasons. That is why I insist on feeling connection. See, when you feel connected to me, I can put these powerful reasons very casually inside you. So easily I can put that inside you. When you are open to me, I can trigger so many wonderful energies. I can empower so many powerful frequencies, and I can empower your very Divya Sarira existence. Actually, Vinay has sent a beautiful link. This book called Siddha Vedam is available in English. So I'll ask that link to be projected. I will sincerely recommend all of you to read this book. It will do so much good. And he is such a great enlightened being that Shivananda Paramahamsa, he has actually brought the science true to its original reason. Listen, if you do Nadi Sutti and Pranayama, because your lungs will become healthy, you have been told if you do Nadi Sutti and Pranayama, you will become healthy, lose weight. And if you do Nadi Sutti and Pranayama, you will lose weight, you will become healthy, no doubt. But if you have been told, hey, do Nadi Sutti and Pranayama, you will get enlightened. You will start living in your third eye and Sahasrara as a Siranjeevi. You will have Jiva Samadhi, and you start doing the same pranayama, the same time, the same action, same sadhana will bring the result of enlightenment and the powers of third eye, and it will empower your Divya Sarira. Listen. So the cause reason why, the answer for the why inserted into you for the spiritual practice you need to do plays a major role. Ramesh Ramani is sending a message. Swamiji, my grandmother attained Jiva Samadhi, was initiated by Shivananda Paramahamsa. She and Periyaswami, Chinnaswami were contemporaries. Yes. Ramesh Ramani, not only I know this already, you told me already once, that is one. My father's brother, elder brother, means my Periyappa is also contemporary of your grandmother. My Periyappa also got initiated along with Periyaswami and Chinnaswami. And many people in my family were contemporaries of Periyaswami and Chinnaswami of Gautama Ashramam. And see, this Vidya, this Siddha Vidya is told as empowering Divya Sarira in our Vedagamas. And I should say that the Shivananda Paramahamsa is one of the great happening. Like Ramakrishna Paramahamsa of the north, Shivananda Paramahamsa was one of the great happening in south. Unfortunately, due to this atheism, his Sangha did not take to the level of Ramakrishna mission. Anyhow, it's now our responsibility. Let us take it to the world. Listen. The reason you are taught, the cause about which you are convinced matters. The cause about which you are convinced matters. Ramesh Ramani, at least I have been influenced by 25 people who are directly initiated by Shivananda Paramahamsa. At least 25 people in my family and friends and all that circle. At least 25 people impacted my life. And first time when I saw the book Siddha Vedam in Tamil and started reading when I was, I think, 7 or 8. Because in the house, the book Siddha Vedam was there and all of them used to practice. And my Periyappa, he will always wear only that kaupin, white kaupin, as per that Siddha Vedam tradition, and he will not cut the nail and the hair. And that will be a big problem in the house. But he stood strongly and he achieved Jiva Samadhi. He achieved and my grandmother achieved. And surely he has done a great service. Bhagavan, that Shivananda Paramahamsa of Kerala, he has done a extraordinary service to Hinduism, and he should be given the right credit, which he is not given. See, like Ramakrishna Paramahamsa, Shivananda Paramahamsa should have been given the credit. Unfortunately, it did not. Happen in the past. I think now it's our responsibility. And we should take it to the world and make it happen. Yes. I wanted all of you to read this English book, Siddha Vedam. I am putting the link now. Please, all of you see the link. I sincerely request all of you to read this. I will even speak about this book and give you the quotations from Vedagamic tradition and this book, and how beautifully he has organized. So now, understand this point. The points, the reasons, the ideas with which you have been convinced to do the practice plays an important role. See, for example, now I gave you an example, pranayama. If you have been told by your guru, do pranayama, your lungs will become healthy. You will become healthy. If you do pranayama, you will get only lungs, healthy lungs and health. That's all. Nothing more. But the guru who initiates you, if he says, do pranayama, your divya sarira will get empowered and you will manifest jiva samadhi. And if you do that, you will manifest jiva samadhi. Your divya sarira will get empowered. That is why getting initiated by the right guru is important, and having feeling connection to that right guru is important. If you have a feeling connection with that right guru, he will put the right cause into your being just like that. I tell you, all of you who have a feeling connection with me, I have already put that strong right reasons cause inside you. Even if you just keep quiet, I will be remembering you. There's nothing else you need to do from your side. I have convinced you already with this most powerful cause. Smaranat Arunachalam. If you remember Arunachala, you will be liberated. In my case, once I initiate you, whether you remember me or forget me or whatever, I have taken you over beyond your ability to remember or forget. If you remember, the present time itself will be more blissful, ecstatic, and power manifesting, enjoying, celebrating. If you don't remember, don't worry, you are liberated. When I need to remember you, during the time you leave the body, I need to remember you. Not only I will remember you, I will make sure you remember me. And you will be free. Understand? I have put this powerful cause, reason inside your causal body. The collection of your reasons about what you do, why you do in your life. Now I am coming to the next point. Listen. Your existence, your Divya Sarira, is programmed, designed to live huge miracles, conscious play. I use the word in English, effulgence, tejas. I'll explain the word effulgence, tejas means by its very presence, your Divya Sarira goes on doing miracles. Listen. I wanted to tell you all this truth many times. When something happens in my life, for a few seconds, even I am shocked. Why is this happening? But within next few hours, I can see the whole right reason and the right cause and how it is auspicious and expanding. I will ask Paramashiva, why don't you tell me a little upfront? He will say, hey, we can't give a full script. If I give a full script, you will blurt it out to the people who are around you and they will miss it. The script will be given only everyday shooting. Only during everyday shooting, the script and dialogue will be given. But you should know everything I do, I will do best because I am the director and producer. I say, all right, I know I am in the best hands, the director and producer of the cosmos, that is enough. You give me the script for every shot, that is enough. I don't need to know the whole story and I don't need to have the whole script and whole dialogue. I still remember one beautiful word I heard from my Guru Isaki Swami. He said, "Hey, motta kadayum therinja ஆர்வத்துல சொதப்பி வச்சிருவீங்கடா அல்ப பசங்களா போங்கடா." Means if you know the full story and all the dialogue, in the over enthusiasm, you will mess up. Understand? Even for me, Paramashiva gives only the dialogue for that day, the story for that day. But I know for sure I'm in the hands of the ultimate, best, most powerful, and most compassionate producer and director. So I just relax. You also do the same. Empowering your Divya Sarira. I tell you, empowering your Divya Sarira gives you the power to take long jumps. It gives energy for long jump. Listen, I think you all need to understand this one truth. Paramashiva gives only that day dialogue, that day actions you need to do. He does not give the full movie script. Because if he gives the full movie script, due to over enthusiasm, we will mess up. And we will try to develop on his script. We will create too many complications. See, the kind of the small vision and small taste we are entertaining, for our level taste and vision, if he gives few days script for us, that's enough. You need only one thing, a beautiful, restful space. Hey, my producer and director is not only absolutely powerful, he is absolutely compassionate. There is nothing called giving up on me or leaving me. I am avimukta, never given up. That's all. We don't need a full script of the movie, full script of the Leela. I still remember this really happened. Outside the Adi Kailash, there's a beautiful Ganapati, just on the entrance. That Ganapati is a very living, and he will very casually talk to me. One day, I was going to the Ramnagara court for this false case which they put on me for that hearing. I was standing on that, in front of the gate, in front of the Ganapati, and I was asking him. That day, we were expecting that case will be quashed, that false case. So I asked him, quash that case, we can do a lot of work, a lot of construction need to be done, many work need to be done. This load of these false cases, can you just please clear it up? He was smiling. I became so confident. I thought, it's done today. When I went to the court and attended, and that day it did not get quashed, I came back. And I was standing again in front of the Ganapati and asked, what is this? He smiled widely and said, Chipada, that's all. I simply know that I have to obey and he has a bigger plans. Nothing else. And I simply went inside and as usual I prayed to Kala Bhairava and went and started doing my work. Now I know why. Now I know what was their original plan and what is their original plan. But I tell you, honestly I tell you, at the age of 12, I think just before Isaki Swami left the body, went into Jiva Samadhi, he and my Guru Kupammal, both of them were sitting and they were trying to convince me to accept the property in my guardian's name. I was a minor that time, so they wanted to put me and put one of my somebody as a guardian for me till that property. But because I know the full script, the responsibility that ashram will bring it to me, I did not do what they want. Same way, if I was told that time itself I have to make a nation, either I may not be standing to do what they want, or due to over enthusiasm, I would have done some mess up which will not go as per their plan. I tell you, So how much our brain can hold, that much they reveal. But they have given a very powerful experience that Paramashiva is ultimate power and compassion, and he himself is operating using this human shirt, human clothing. So all of you understand, எனக்கே இதான் கதி, போய் விநாயகர் முன்னாடி என்னையா அப்படின்னு கேட்டா சிப்பா அவ்வளவுதான் சொன்னாரு. Then I just shut all the holes and simply went and started doing my work, what I am supposed to do. So whenever you are complaining, just remember this one word, chipa. It has so many meanings. It means we have our plans and you just cooperate with everyday script, and the dialogues will be given to you. Just receive that and enjoy. Understand, many times you mess up and come and tell, sorry, what to do. There are some things where you can't mess up and you can't afford to mess up and come back and tell sorry. That is why Paramashiva does not give a full script. He empowers your Divya Sarira not to collapse is the grace he showers on you. Don't expect, because he is graceful, he has to give the whole script to you. No. Because he is graceful, he has empowered your Divya Sarira for long jumps. Feeling empowered for the long jumps is the grace of Paramashiva. That's a signal that Paramashiva is on you. His grace is on you. Do not expect the whole script to be given. Kailasa Priya is asking, what is the Tamil word? Ganapati said, Echipa. You can't translate this word because it has a multiple meaning. Listen. I remembered very clearly how I messed up when my gurus gave me the full script. Then I decided I should not ask for the full script anymore. And I am happily living. This 3 months Samadhi, I actually do not know why they put me in Samadhi. Now, I know very clearly they wanted to use this body and radiate lot more things to the world. So they put me in Samadhi. Now the body is ready and it is going to do lot more things. Rekha Pathak is messaging. She experienced my presence during her heart procedure. She had a month ago and left it to Paramashiva for outcome. I am healing now. Understand? Rekha Pathak, I am living there. So I will keep it safe, functioning and radiating Paramashiva. I am telling you, today what I revealed, especially with my conversation with Ganesha, you should all contemplate. It's a true thing. Please understand, it's truth. Absolute truth. You should all contemplate on it. How our Divya Sarira is empowered and how right knowledge is given. Actually, I tell you, if giving that day's script can get the best out of you, director giving only that day's script is the right knowledge. Right knowledge does not mean large information. No. It means giving the informations which will produce the result required by the director, which will produce the result director needs. And I tell you, this is what is Atmamurti. I reside in you, give you the knowledge script which you need for the best productivity, best outcome. Paramashiva resides in me and he also gives the script needed for the best productivity. That's all. It is not that he gives the whole script and I also don't ask for it. Because I know he is all powerful and all compassionate. I trust his intelligence and compassion. Just like how I reside in this body, he resides more strongly with a higher frequency in the same body. He resides with more stronger frequency in the same body. So he goes on giving the script needed. And he uses this human frame and resides in each one of you as Atmamurti. So understand, Right knowledge does not mean full information. If you read how Krishna took care of Arjuna, if Krishna has revealed everything which is going to happen in the Mahabharata war to Arjuna, nothing would have happened. It would all have been mess. Just seeing all the relatives in front, Arjuna collapsed. How do you think that war would have happened and that collective negativity will be wiped out? And too much of weapons created need to be destroyed in controlled condition. See, Mahabharata war is nothing but destroying all the nukes in controlled condition. Too much nukes built up has happened. Every fellow started having Brahmastra. The knowledge became like open source. And it is dangerous for the humanity. So Krishna creates a controlled condition, a field where he is personally managing and destroying all the weapons. If Krishna told everything that is going to happen, full script of Mahabharata war, Arjuna would not have gone into the war. Dharma, Yudhishthira would not have allowed the whole war. One miss, one information. Karna is the elder brother of Pandavas, is enough. War would not have happened. Because Duryodhana will never resist to put Karna on the throne. And Pandavas will no way bother because they follow the dharma. They say elder brother gets the throne. Let Karna have the throne. Pandava and Gaurava, the whole conflict would have been dissolved. Then the purpose of removing the Bhubara would not have happened. Ma Guhambananda is writing in YouTube, Swamiji, you healed my muscular degeneration. The doctor says it's a miracle, and in 1 month he has seen 7 months of progress. I saw you doing the non-invasive surgery. Thank you, Swamiji. Guhambananda, just do one thing. Sit and visualize I am occupying your body fully and breathe as I am breathing. That's all. Do this every day for 10 or 15 minutes. Go to doctor, he will say that the whole disease has disappeared. Because the body will be empowered by the Divya Sarira of me, which means Paramashiva. You will simply be healed. Now the miracle you are seeing is because of your feeling connection with me. Now I am giving you the technique also, not just feeling connection, technique also, do it. You will be healed completely.
गंधा कदंबा कदिर्वेला कार्तिकेया Amara Gurubara Shivakumara Sivagami Suthane Sendil Managarvar Sevar Kodigone Sendil Managarvar Sevar Kodigone Sittam Gelam நினைந்து உருக சித்தனாய் வந்த நித்யானந்தனே குரு நித்யானந்தனே நித்யானந்தனே கண்ணில் படும் பொன் வண்ண திருமுகம் சிந்தை தொடும் குரு நித்யன் பலமுகம் உள்ளம் மதி கந்தன் முகம் இவன்.
Listen. Next point about empowering your Divya Sarira. Understanding your life is order in chaos, not just for de-stressing you, but to realize what you call as chaos, everything is your own dimension. Even what you call as a loss, destruction, negativity, collapsing, all that is your own dimension of samhara. If you understand, decide to accept, you are doing srishti, sthiti, samhara, trobhava, anugraha, you are doing all the five. Then you will understand everything happening in your life is an order, not chaos. Please understand, knowing that everything happening in your life is an order is not for de-stressing, not even for living blissfully. It is for realizing you are Paramashiva and everything is multi-dimensions of you, your existence. What you call as positive, what you brand as negative, all this happening in your life is nothing but your own different phases. Hey, you are the samhari. You are the person who do the srishti, creation. You are the person who do the maintenance, sustenance. You are the person who does the samhara. When you understand you are the person who do the samhara, you will know you are doing rejuvenation. And you will know you are the one puts people in delusion, puts things in delusion and pulls them out of delusion. And you are the one who manifests liberation. I am just solidified experience of the truth I revealed now. I am just the effulgence of this intense frequency of this experience of Divya Sarira. I'll initiate all of you by empowering you all with the same frequency. One by one, I will repeat now these great truths and empower your Divya Sarira. Listen. How you can find I empowered your Divya Sarira, today and tomorrow, next 48 hours, even in your sleep, in the dream, you will be hearing these words. Just intensely going inside your system. That's a proof I am empowering you, initiating you. Sit. You can keep your eyes open. I'm going to repeat step by step these great truths. 1. Your Divya Sarira is your own soul, consciousness, wearing this physical body. Your Divya Sarira is the space where Paramashiva is comfortable. Let your Divya Sarira be empowered, and all the suffocation caused by your physical body and restriction of your existence dissolve in your Divya Sarira. Paramashiva, who gives the right reasons, empowers your causal body with the right cause, convinces you with the right reason for your actions. Let that Paramashiva, ultimate, undeniable existence of that eternal effulgence manifest in all our Divya Sarira. Om, 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 Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Inhale and exhale deeply for the sake of manifesting Paramashiva in your Divya Sarira. Now you are inhaling and exhaling will make you manifest Paramashiva in your Divya Sarira. Shiva, 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 Shiva. Om, 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 Om. Paramashiva manifests in all our Divya Sariras as Atma Murti. Empower us with the right knowledge. Empower us with His powers and compassion. Empower us with the confidence and energy for the long jumps, complete manifestation in the right direction. Shiva, 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 Shiva. Om Shiva, 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 Shiva.
பறவையாய் பாம்பாகி கல்லா மனிதராய் பேயாய் கணங்களாய் வல்லசுரராகி முனிவராய் தேவராய் செல்லாதின் தாவர சங்கமத்துள் எல்லா பிறப்பும் பிறந்திழைத்தேன் எம்பெருமான் மெய்யே உன் பொன்னடிகள் கண்டு இன்று வீடுற்றேன் மெய்யே உன் பொன்னடிகள் கண்டு இன்று வீடுற்றேன் சரீரத்தில் வாதின் புலில் போற்ற வேண்டும் அதனால் திசை கொடு உண்மையாட்கொண்டவா கையாளும் ஈசா கற்புரிய திவ்ய சரீரத்தில் வாதின் புலில் போற்ற வேண்டும் அதனால் திசை கொடு உண்மையாட்கொண்டவா சிந்தி தெளிவித்தவா வாழ்வுதனை சித்தமயமாக்கவா ஔஷதம் தந்தவா உடல்நிலை விடும் பொறுமை தந்தருளவா சிந்தி தெளிவித்தவா வாழ்வுதனை சித்தமயமாக்கவா தந்தவா உடல்நிலை விடும் பொறுமை தந்தருளவா ஊருயிர் குறைந்திடும் பேருயிருமீ அல்லவா நாளும் ஈசா அருள்புரிய திவ்ய சரீரத்தில் வானின் புலில் போற்ற வேண்டும் அதனால் திசை கொடு எம்மையாட்கொண்டவா வையகத்தின் வேறே வந்தறிவாம் தேற்றனே தேற்றத் தெளிவே என் சிந்தனையுள் ஊற்றான உன்னாரமுதே தன்னை இறை ரூபம் கொண்ட நித்யானந்தனை அருளினார். காதினை வேண்டும் என்று பார்க்கடல் கடைந்த போது அதில் வரும் நஞ்சை உண்டு பக்தரை காக்கின்றார். சிவ 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 ஓம் நம சிவாய ஓம் ஹர ஹர என தம் அடையும். ஓம் சிவ சிவாய ஓம் நம சிவாய ஓம் தகதிமி என தாளம் முழங்கும். நாளும் ஈசார் அற்புரிய துர்க்க சரிதத்தில் வாடின் புரிந்து கொள்ள வேண்டும். அதனால் திசை கொடு எம்மையாட் கொண்டவா. கள்ளி முதுகாட்டில் ஆடிடக் கண்டேன். காலரை காலார் கடந்தானை கண்டேன். புள்ளி முடைமானின் தோளானை கண்டேன். புலியுரை ஆடை புனிதனை கண்டேன். வெள்ளி பிறை சடையில் சூடிடக் கண்டேன். வெள்ளி மலை மீது நின்றானை கண்டேன். நந்தி பெருமானின் நாயகன் கண்டேன். நான் மறை வேதநாதன் கண்டேன். கண் தந்து கண்டவா காண கண் தந்தவா காண்கின்ற காட்சியெல்லாம் கைலாயம் தந்தவா. ஓம் சிவ 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 ஓம் நம சிவாய ஓம் ஹர
Let
ஹர
every
என
action, reaction, from breathing to eating to enjoying all the sensory pleasures and actions, let everything empower your Divya Sarira with the power of Paramashiva, with the presence of Paramashiva, with the existence of Paramashiva, with the manifestation of Paramashiva. Om, Om, Om.
முருகா கந்தா கடம்பா கதிர் வேலா கார்த்திகேயா குமரா குருபரா சிவகுமாரா சிவகாமி சுதனே செந்தில் மாநகர் வாழ் சேவர் கொடியோனே செந்தில் மாநகர் வாழ் சேவர் கொடியோனே சித்தம் கெலாம் நினைந்து சித்தம் கெலாம் நினைந்து நினைந்து உருக சித்தனாய் வந்த நித்யானந்தனே குரு நித்யானந்தனே நித்யானந்தனே
மண்ணில் படும் பொன் வண்ண திருமுகம் சிந்தை தொடுக்குரு நித்யன் பலமுகம் உள்ளம் அது கந்தன் முகம் இவன் என நிறைந்தானே. ஞானம் தரும் சிவயோக திருமுகம் காண பயம் யாவும் பரந்தோடிடும் பக்தி எனும் சக்தி இதனை அருளிடும் பெருமானே. வேலும் உண்டு மயிலும் உண்டு வாழ்வினை காத்திட நீ அருகில் உண்டு. ஆறிரு கைகள் அணைக்க உண்டு ஆறுமுகன் உண்டு. சிவசக்தியின் குமரனை முக்கண்ணன் புதல்வனை தரிசனம் செய்திடுங்கள். கணநாதனின் நிலையவன் கார்த்திகை மைந்தனை கண்ணார கண்டிடுங்கள். சஷ்டியின் நாயகன் பிரணவத்தை உரைத்தவன் கையிலை அமர்ந்த எங்கள் சரவண பவன். சிவசக்தியின் குமரனை முக்கண்ணன் புதல்வனை தரிசனம் செய்திடுங்கள். கணநாதனின் நிலையவன் கார்த்திகை மைந்தனை கண்ணார கண்டிடுங்கள். இருக்கும் நெற்றியில் குங்குமம் வேலினை போலே தெரிகிறதே. குரல் யாவும் இதயம் நுழைந்து சேவர் கொடி போல் அசைகிறதே. அசைந்தாடும் கண்களில்
கண்கள் இரண்டில் மயிலின் நடனம் தெரிகிறதே. அலைந்தாடும் எந்தன் மனமோ அதனை கண்டு குளிர்கிறதே. ஜகம் யாவும் மனிதரின் மனங்கள் தாவியும் ஓடியும் திளைக்கிறதே. கையளவை கடலா எண்ணி வாழ்வை தினமும் தொலைக்கிறதே. அவனியில் கிடைத்த அதிசயம் நீயே, இருளை விளக்க வந்த காவியம் நீயே. அவனியில் கிடைத்த அதிசயம் நீயே, இருளை விளக்க வந்த காவியம் நீயே. கண்ணில் படும் பொன் வண்ண திருமுகம், சிந்தை தொடும் குரு நித்யன் பல முகம், உள்ளம் மறி தந்தன் முகம் இவன் என நிறைந்தானே. ஞானம் தரும் சிவயோக திருமுகம் காண பயம் யாவும் பரந்தோடிடும். பக்தி எனும் சக்தி தனை அருளிடும் பெருமானே. குன்றின் மீதிலே குமரனாய் தெரிபவனே, தேவர் வேண்டிட வீரனாகிய சூரனை அழித்தவன் இவனே. குன்றின் மீதிலே குமரனாய் தெரிபவனே, தேவர் வேண்டிட வீரனாகிய சூரனை அழித்தவன் இவனே. கடல் தாண்டி மொழி தாண்டி தமிழ் பேசும் முந்தன் மொழி கேட்டு பல கோடி உயிர் பேசும். கடல் தாண்டி மொழி தாண்டி தமிழ் பேசும் முந்தன் மொழி கேட்டு பல கோடி உயிர் பேசும். பால்காவடி பண்ணி காவடி அதை ஏந்தி ஆடி பாடிட, மனமகிழ்ந்திட புடி திளைத்திட, மலையேறி வந்து வணங்கிட. மாயோனின் மருகனே, தமிழ் காக்கும் தலைவனே, வீரத்தின் புதல்வனே, வேல் தாங்கும் வேந்தனே. வேலவா ஷண்முகா கைலையை ஆண்டிடும் நித்யனே பரபரவா. சிவசக்தியின் குமரனை முக்கண்ணன் புதல்வனை தரிசனம் செய்திடுங்கள். கணநாதனின் இளையவன் கார்த்திகை மைந்தனை கண்ணார கண்டிடுங்கள்.
பெருமானே அருளிடும் பெருமானே, பெருமானே.
Oh, let all our existence be empowered by Paramashiva. I bless you all. Let's all radiate with integrity, authenticity, responsibility, enriching, causing, living Shuddhat by the Saivam. The state, space, powers, being, superconsciousness, and KAILASA of Paramashivam. Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. The eternal bliss, Nithyananda. Thank you. Be blissful.